And now we begin with Uganda. The Inter-Religious Council of Uganda has appealed to the Ugandan government to allow the decision on the controversial presidential age limit to be made by referendum. The council, made up of about 7 heads of the major religious bodies in the country, in a statement said Ugandans should be allowed to determine their destiny. They also urged security agencies to stop harassing one side and favouring another, and called on the President Yoweri Museveni to assert true statesmanship on the matter. Members of Parliament of the ruling National Resistance Movement, NRM, and some independent MPs had passed a resolution to debate the removal of the presidential age limit, currently pegged at 75. If the amendment is approved, President Yoweri Museveni, who is currently 73, can contest in the next elections. Of course, there have been some opposition figures in the country speaking out against the bill, including President Museveni's longtime political rival, Kizza Besigye. We now hear some of the voices.
Those who are fighting for a transition to a democratic dispensation will prevail. It doesn't matter at what stage.
What should be done, Ugandans? It is still 4 years to the next election. Let's concentrate on peace and development, not constitutional amendment. It's not good timing.
So we are moving a motion of a bill called the Museveni Succession, Transition and Immunities Bill 2017. That will cater for his retirement so that no one pursues him peacefully. But that is if he goes peacefully.
Hundreds of Ugandan students confronted the police ban on Thursday to protest against the possible suppression of the presidential age limits. The Ugandan police reported arresting 48 demonstrators, including 25 students from the Makerere University. Small demonstration also took place elsewhere in the country. At Lira, in the north, the demonstrators placed at the middle of the crossroads a false coffin on which it was written, "The suppression of the limit of the presidential age limit is the death of our country." It should be known that the amendment, if this amendment were to pass, it would not be the first time that there's a change in the constitution that would allow Yoweri Museveni to remain as the head of state. In 2005, the parliament had already adopted an amendment to abolish the limits.
And now joining us from Kampala, Uganda, is Kasim Kayira, a Ugandan journalist. It's really great to have you with us, Kasim. Straight to the questions. Is the presidential age limit really being changed in favor of President Museveni? We really want to understand the controversy.
It was actually about Museveni's succession. By calling it a succession, it's not like it is somebody else that is going to come. It is his term that is coming nearly to an end by 2021. President Museveni now wouldn't be eligible to stand again on the basis of this particular article. In the Constitution, there are 2 main articles that were remaining that would hold this particular foundation. The first one was Article 105B, which now is no longer valid. It was the term limit. That was removed back in the early 2000s. And the only safeguard that remains for the Constitution, according to many activists, is this particular one of the age limit.
Kasim, if it is in favor of President Museveni, why are some of his own party members against the bill? And will they still have the numbers to ensure that the bill will never become a law?
Yes, definitely he has the numbers. But what we have been able to establish quite comfortably, quite reliably, we have 449 members of parliament. More than 300 the ruling party. But within the party, there has been a kind of a division. The majority, yes, have been the bandwagon, wanting the president to stay. But now a significant number, I mean, it is quite small, but there are some of the noisiest. They have come out, and it was part of the reason as to why on Thursday, when Parliament was supposed to sit, despite the opposition from the opposition parties, there was also disgruntlement within the ruling party itself, that they were not comfortable to go ahead with this particular motion. We have had members of parliament receiving 200 million plus to be able to support this particular motion. But there has also been another cut that was let out of the bag, which is the suggestion that the cabinet be allowed to remove the age limit. Cabinet would in return submit a proposition to increase the period of parliament from 5 years now, tenure, to 7 years. That would allow now members of parliament to stay in parliament for 7 years.
Last week, Parliament postponed the debate amid the tension, and now the debate is actually scheduled to continue in Parliament on Tuesday, which is tomorrow. What can we expect, really?
But I think because of the heightened emotions, temperatures were pretty high, and I think it was advisable probably not to have gone ahead with the motion on Thursday. But within the next week now, probably tempers will have cooled down a little bit. Thursday was just unbelievable because what happened is that the attendance in Parliament, many members of Parliament that are hardly in attendance, all clocked in.